The Theory of God, Part 2. Women and children were killed by the Inquisition. Persons butchered, burned, tortured, strangled, cut up with the Christian crusades of the Church and their genocides. Slaughtering and massacring everything that was possible to slaughter and massacre was their national sport. This is degrading even to the most degenerate mind. As soon as Christianity got the God power, pagan believers were slain. Millions slaughtered in the name of their personal God. Fragments of human bodies, the grounds covered with the blood of the slain, headless bodies, and they are polluted by the stench of decomposition. In the Fourth Crusade were 20 million victims in the Holy Land alone. In the era of witch hunting, several 100,000 women were burned at the stake or hanged. In religious wars between the Christians, Catholic vs Protestant Christians, more were slain. Philosophers were burned alive and named as heretics. A great example is Giordano Bruno. After they cut his tongue, they burned him alive on the Campo de' Fiori in Rome on the 17th of February in 1600. He was accused of holding opinions contrary to the Catholic faith, the Trinity, and the Mass. Also, he denied the virginity of Mary. He was claiming the existence of an infinite universe and that Earth is round. Till today, not a single priest said a good word for Giordano Bruno. Synagogues were burned by Christians, and many Jews were slain. Native people and infidels were slain also. Jesus Christ himself said, "Love your enemies." But for them it depends on who's doing the killing and who's getting killed. That's how they got their money and gold. Jesus Christ himself says that if you have 2 clothes, give one to the poor. He says something like this. But the wealth of the Vatican is truly astonishing. While millions die around the world from war and starvation, the Vatican has billions of shares in the most powerful international corporations such as Gulf Oil, Shell, General Motors, Bethlehem Steel, General Electric, and money in the best banks around the world. The Vatican's solid gold has been estimated by the United Nations World Magazine to several $billion. Banks in England and Switzerland hold the rest. Their real estate, property, stocks and shares abroad worth millions. Billions. What millions? I rejected the idea of God by common sense. I didn't have to see all this. Those are for you. I can prove to anybody that there is no God. Just tell me what God is for you, firstly, and I will tell you why your God is imaginary or existent. The Bible has writings that demand readers to murder homosexual men and lesbians and to commit hate crimes against innocent citizens. How can you be gay and be a member of the church? Women were owned by fathers or husbands, inferior to men, unable to testify in court trials, no talking to strangers, veiled. How can you be a woman and be a member of the church? Women are not allowed to be priests. They burned alive thousands of witches and considered for 100 years that women don't have a soul. How can you like music, sex, freedom, and be a member of that institution? The church supported slavery and claimed till recently that black people don't have a soul. How can you be black and be a member of the church? How can you be Jew and be a member of the church? Anti-sex, anti-masturbation, anti-gay, anti-human. They try to make people feel guilty if they want to have sex, but it's okay to go to the army to kill in the name of their God. How can you be a human being and be a member of any church? Apostasize. YouTube atheists, apostasize. The church uses your names to justify its existence. Apostasize in the memory of all that were burnt alive, stabbed, slain, or shot to death in the name of the God you know does not exist. They fight stem cell research and scientific research. They are against science and knowledge and progress. Thought science knowledge is poison for the church. The church, since its creation, is fighting science. And all their crimes are justified under the word faith. They always tell you, you don't have enough faith. Believe and do not investigate. That's what they tell you. Believe and do not search. Believe and do not think. But what is faith? Faith is easier than thought. Somebody who thinks a lot will not be a good member of the church. His thinking will make him go away. The prehistoric man survived because he thought to use tools to defend himself from wild animals. We are all alive today thanks to the prehistoric man that used his brain and thoughts to make tools and survive. Thinking creates questions. Faith forbids questioning. Science is the end of faith. Faith is ignorance. Understanding is the end of faith. Faith is for those who cannot or do not want to understand. How can you be a human and be a member of an institution that fights science? 2,000 years of stupid rituals, 2,000 years of murders and hate. I will not stop saying the truth till the Vatican becomes a museum. Even if you believe in God, it doesn't matter. She does not exist anyway. Apostasize. Listen out to what have been said and think about it for yourself.